Love her or hate her, she's good at making videos. So it turns out if you are a semi-cute liberal who makes great vids, that's all it takes. So it turns out. You abandoned them for the witch Perry, you clown.
Destiny and pride, Trump proclaimed in a formal speech welcoming King Charles to the White House this spring. The American patriots who pledged their lives to independence in 1776 were the heirs to this majestic heritage. Their veins ran with Anglo-Saxon courage. Their hearts beat with an English faith in standing firm for what is right, good, and true. Vance has fleshed this out. America is not just an idea. We're a particular place. We're with a particular people and a particular set of beliefs and way of life. He said the people whose ancestors fought in the Civil War have a hell of a lot more claim over America than the people who say they don't belong. So yeah, Schmidt, a lawyer, former Missouri Attorney General, mocked the idea that the U.S.
Read that last sentence again, please.
Yeah, sure. Vance has fleshed this out. America is not just an idea. We're a particular place with a particular people, and a particular set of beliefs and way of life. He said, the people whose ancestors fought in the Civil War have a hell of a lot more claim over America than the people who say they don't belong. And who the they there is not. That's a little unclear to me, to Norm, exactly what.
Yeah.
Hey,
Who is saying who doesn't belong? Is he's saying that the people, Americans have more right to be here than illegal immigrants? Is that a point? Or am I being too?
That's the way some of Vance's statements have been read. Yes, it's like things he said on multiple occasions. That there's the, and Woodard has this contrast.
Scott, respectfully, that's not responsive to what I said.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Obviously, that was said at a presentation for King Charles. So he customized his message for King Charles. If the president of Germany had come, he would have said something different. If the Pope had come,
remember that?
he would have said something different.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember what he said. Oh, that wasn't a great day for you. I figured some German thing.
Hey! All things said and done, I think the idea of MAGA itself is a deliberately left open to interpretation type of a policy, right? Because I think one gentleman earlier mentioned about the fact as to how MAGA is no longer just about making America more white and more Christian again, but it's also about sort of reviving the old sentiments as to what the fathers of the nation had earlier. That the open sort of message. Second, this is comments particularly appeal to people who've been sort of bereft of whatever's happened in the country for about say for the past 20, 30 years, right? And when they see no help coming forward, they just go with people who rather appeal to the sentiments of the country, right? Which is also what we see happening in New York, right? Because people are so bereft of what the market expects of them, and when they see no help come forward, they just go for whoever says the nicest things. I mean, it's no doubt that whatever Zoran Mamdani had put in his manifesto was totally bullshit. I mean, it is not his prerogative at all, as to whatever he proposed to happen go directly to the state of Albany, right? In terms of the legislature, so it's actually very clear as to what is really happening. They are really and I, it's not a joke when we say that the American government has lost legitimacy over the past 20, 30 years, and every time when their accountability has put into question has been brought into question, there has been something or another of exogenous shock that is constantly plundered the American economy into so many other things, right? So the entirety of ideology is really just namesake now, because how many, I mean, I'm going to be brutally honest here, but how many people on the Republican or the Democratic aisle do you really think match with the ideology? Barely any. I mean, gun to the back of my head, I would actually say if Bernie Sanders. I mean, as a matter of
Hello,
fact,
Sash.
independent.
Do you have a point? Are you going to make a point, or are you going to go on forever?
No, the point that I'm really trying to make is let's not like discuss about the ideologies, because we're really not getting anywhere. Let's talk about the actual sort of things that are being put into the Senate or House or whatever.
Yeah. I respect that, Sash. I do want to read one more passage though from this piece. Again, this is written by Colin Woodard. I can put my interview with him in the chat. He's a fantastic writer and historian. At Nationhood Lab, the project I founded at Salve Virginia University, we recently asked likely voters which statement of natural origin they more agreed with. That were built on the idea that everyone is born with the rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, or on the character of the Anglo-Saxon people, their distinctive love of liberty, and their sense of glory, destiny, and pride. Americans rejected Trump's formulation by 85-15, a whopping 70-point margin, and a 76% margin with Trump's own voters. So Woodard talks a lot in his book Nations Apart at the end about this idea of America as a creedal nation or as a sort of more traditionally ethnic nation. And I think Trump does and Vance both talk more in the ethnic language than the creedal language. In fact, I would say Trump doesn't even know the creed. Like, I think if you said to Trump, what are the Federalist Papers, he wouldn't know. I mean, when he said, when they asked him, I remember Laura Ingraham asked him, what's the Declaration of Independence? Independence. He said, what's it mean? It's a document of love, of unity and love. I mean, it was clear he didn't have any thoughts on the Declaration of Independence, right? I mean, so I think that I do think American greatness to Trump doesn't seem to be about ideas, right? Doesn't seem to be about ideals, about founding ideals. It seems to be about power and ethnicity, right? I mean, that from his language, that's where the emphasis seems. And same with Vance, although Vance is a little more sophisticated about it.
Yeah, I concur with Scott entirely. I mean, if you look at the number of executive decrees that have sort of been given by the president, it's really, I can't seem to keep count. Almost he's sort of ruled down every single thing that has been suggested by the Supreme Court. I mean, so this is not a joke anymore. I mean, whatever you said about how he cares about power is absolutely true. I mean, I have to agree here.
Make America great again.
Let's go to Billy. Billy, you got something to say there, buddy?
Yeah, Scotty, hi.
Good to see you, pal.
Thank you. So, yeah, Make America Great Again is just a con, a marketing scam. I mean, what it means to me is, let's get rid of all the black women who are working. Let's abuse reporters. Let's build monuments to myself. Make America Great Again is just a con.
Yeah, that's an interesting. Yeah, I mean that's maybe mildly cynical, Billy, but maybe perhaps worth a little cynicism. I don't know. Yeah, no, but I do think you're right. I do think there is something about America as an ethno state that you pick up in Trump's rhetoric and Vance's. It's more explicit in Vance's language, but you hear it in Trump too. You know, I just don't, like I said, I just don't hear Trump talk about American ideals the way, say, Obama or Bush Jr. tended to do.
Exactly.
Andy, does that make sense, or am I being unfair? If I'm being unfair, let me know. This is the Trump I hear, and I think you probably hear something different.
I'm focusing exactly on the words "Make America Great Again." Not focusing on. I mean, Billy has brought in a whole bunch of other stuff. God bless Billy. He knows we're friends, but his analysis is informed by his overall view of Trump. I thought we were looking at the words "Make America Great Again" on their own. What do those 5 words, or whatever it is, 4 words, what do those 4 words mean? I don't see any linkage to Black women working. I just don't see the linkage. I mean, I get it. Billy doesn't like Trump. A lot of people don't like Trump, but what's the linkage of "Make America Great Again" to Black women working? I just don't see it.
I think,
but that's okay.
I think what people who read it that way, like it sounds like, I don't want to speak for Billy, but I think people that would make some of the criticisms would be that okay, so great, again, we're turning back the clock, right? So how far do we turn it back, right? Because it's not too far back in our history where the country was far less inclusive, right, to anybody but whites, and where women were marginalized, and where lots of sort of different kinds of minorities were marginalized. And so is I think people honestly ask, like, is making America great again, how much of that is going back to a more hegemonic reality, right? Where one group is a little more dominant, and that group is white Protestants, right? And so I think that a lot of people, I think, hear that language when he talks about, it's funny too, there's a book, Mortal Republic. I've had the author on my podcast too, Ed Watts. And he's talking about like the decline of Rome from republic to autocracy. But he talks about the "Make Rome Great Again" narratives. And he talks about restorative narratives, right? That oftentimes populists come along and say, we got to turn back the clock and we got to make things great again. And inevitably it's an angry ideology, right? Because you have to go, if we're not great anymore, there's a group of people whose fault it is. And you've got to blame those people, right? And you've usually got to say they're bad people, right? Because they put us in this place. Yeah, and so in Rome, it got quite violent. You've got, because sometimes you kill the people because you got so mad. But it's the liberals, it's the PC people, it's the people that make us use pronouns, and yeah, like Randy said, the people that make you apologize. I mean, like Obama apologized for the country. What the hell? How dare you apologize for America? That kind. I think when you have this thing that we're not great anymore, somebody made us not great, right? And then you have to blame those people.
I mean, look at the rhetoric. This country was dead before I got here.
Yeah, this is Alistair. Can I say that? It's just basic psychology, and Billy is right. MAGA is a jingo, a brand, a marketing term. It doesn't represent America or the Republican Party. It's literally just a function. But anyways, the point is, there are in-groups and out-groups, and you have to identify yourself as being the in-group and say everybody else is the out-group. I mean, it's just psychology and politics 101. And when Billy says that the white Christian Protestants are the racist white Americans, or Trump doesn't want black women working, that is so ridiculous. And it really speaks to what Billy projects, which is his liberal ideology onto everybody else. Like, Billy's the greatest guy in the world. Everybody should fuck Billy. Billy's hot. Billy's rich. Billy's the nice guy. Billy's the cool guy. And that's really the way I view Billy. And I think Billy's gotten laid like that for many years. So I salute your ideology projection, Billy.
Thank you for seeing me.
Billy's probably gotten laid for a lot of years. Hello?
Well, there, Billy. Billy, I'll send you this podcast by Colin Woodard. He's a very interesting guy. You might want to listen to it.
Thank you, sir.
His book is actually, he talks about we're really like 11 different nations. There's Yankeedom, he calls it, which is the Puritans, and the Midlands, like where I'm in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and then he's got the Deep South and the mountains, and El Norte, which is like the Southwest, and all these. It's very interesting how he thinks that these cultural centers that were the settlements still shape the political discourse and some of the conflicts we have today.
I belong to the people who are desperate to have a ballroom. Hey.
I mean, I think the whole ballroom thing is ridiculous that he has to go to the Supreme Court to do a construction project that he could easily have the GSA administer. He doesn't even need to be involved in it, but he's our president and he likes building and he has a history of building buildings. And I think it's ridiculous that people make these little snipe remarks against him. See, I'm just saying that go on and enjoy your life. To spend even 1 minute of your life formulating a negative comment about our glorious president, to me, is a waste of your existence and your life. Enjoy your life. Stop thinking about the orange blessed holy one.
Some people enjoy, people enjoy, people, that's some people's enjoyment, talking about politics. They enjoy it. I respect Billy's opinions. I respect his views. He's entitled to them.
Thanks, Randy.
Yeah. No problem, bro. We're friends for life. I just want to talk about the phrase "Make America Great Again," and does that just those 4 words. I really want to drill down.
Do you believe for a second that Trump actually cares about this country? Pay attention.
Definitely.
Yeah, you're wrong. 100% wrong. He is a self-interested, greedy thief.
He's both. He's all those things, plus he cares about the country.
I think he cared more in 2016, and then I think once the lobbyists got to him, that's when it all kind of really went downhill.
Well, the lobbyists didn't get to him with the vaccine schedule, did they? Because yesterday he announced he took it from 77 to 12. And people are screaming about that. Oh, everybody's going to die now. No, everybody's already got autism. 1 in 12 young men have autism because of the 70-plus injections we have to take for no fucking reason. Because Big Pharma has a capture and control over our government and over our economy. We need to build houses. We need to build cars. We need our essential items. We don't need a vaccine war economy. Hello?
That song fucking sucks anyway.
Yeah. That's the album that Gage had the least involvement in. That album is mainly John Paul Jones and Robert Plant.
Randy, there you go, turning it into a music room. Good job.
Somebody else is playing music.
Yeah, I do think they need to be a lot more honest and transparent about that whole vaccine thing, though, like the general schedule.
All of my love
I've seen it affect my own children.
What happened, sir?
So my firstborn, we had her, doing all the routine, every couple months, getting her fucking pumped up. Every single time she'd have some kind of reaction or, just get deathly sick. And then around, so we went for her 1 year, schedule, whatever the fuck, I don't remember how many they had on there. But by this point, she was walking and talking fully by 10 months. I shouldn't say talking fully, but she was fully walking, could just start to begin forming sentences. Like she was very ahead of what I see most kids doing. We took her for her 1 year appointment and she completely went backwards. She seemingly couldn't walk anymore. She went back to crawling. She just didn't seem very responsive anymore. Like you could be talking right to her and it was like you weren't even there. It just seemed like she completely went backwards in the progress that she had already made. And this took months before it finally started to kind of waver. And from there, we just decided we're not doing anymore. And my second daughter, we haven't gotten her anything. She's been fine. She's progressing very well. She's hardly ever sick, if at all. Sometimes they get some sniffles, whatever. And yeah, she's been fine. So just based on what I've seen, and then like my sister-in-law, she has a daughter. She's full, the full schedule, all that shit. That girl is like 5, I think she's 5, and she is literally behind my 3-year-old. I have a 6 and a 3-year-old. And
Wow.
their 5-year-old daughter is literally like behind my 3-year-old. Like, wow. So again, it's just things that I notice. I know this doesn't apply to everybody. It's all happenstance. It could just be unique to the situation that I'm in. But based on other parents that I've ever talked to, like they see it too. I don't think that vaccines are bad. I think there's just too many in too little amount of time, if anything. But again, I have seen the effects firsthand with my own children of what seemed to be going on. And so we stopped. My oldest, we stopped completely with her. She never gets sick or anything like that. And then my 3-year-old, she's, again, never had it. When COVID came sweeping through, they didn't even get sick. Despite me and the wife catching it 3 times, which it was, just a glorified cold with some body aches for a few days, but they didn't get it.
Your correlation is not causality. Intellectual development varies enormously among individuals, and there's no correlation whatsoever between vaccines and intellectual development. So don't worry about that.
Sure.
And to say that they get too many is a non-medical judgment that has no bearing on human health. It's just,
whoever wrote the books, yeah.
What book you mean?
Just whatever research and development that they have, man.
What book are you talking about, or what research and development do you mean?
Whatever they typically refer to, man.
So you're referring to nothing. You're referring to a thing of which...
Why are you so mad? Why are you getting so mad about it?
Why would I be mad?
Well, Drew...
My one failing is I have little patience for stupidity, and
Drew...
So it's stupidity.
Drew, don't take it personally. Some people have buyer's remorse, and they vaccinated their children when they shouldn't have, and, and they have to live with these consequences, and therefore they defend their position. Some people live on a vaccine tower, and a vaccine mountain, and a vaccine castle. They live in vaccine fortresses.
It's just like brushing your teeth. I mean, you say that my kid brushes his teeth and he's behind my other kid, It's ridiculous. It's nonsensical. I mean, you realize how stupid what you said is?
that ever
What's the
since
cor-
I hold on. So ever
What's
since
the
I
correlation between intelligence and vaccine?
Come on, Norm, stop it. The point is, Dr. Fauci told women to get vaccinated with the COVID-19 vaccine while they're pregnant. That caused an 85% miscarriage, and he knew it, and they still broadcasted the messages. These people are criminals. They're murderers. They should be arrested and hung from the gallows. Hello?
Okay. Well, you're trolling now, and you're not helping. So you're just making him less smart right now, which, believe me, he cannot afford it.
Oh, okay. So let me ask you: in a country that is largely
Before you ask me
no. Yeah, before
you
I
ask
hit
me
you with the
anything,
news.
why don't you respond to what I said? Then you can ask me a question. If you're not going to listen to what I say, there's no point in you asking me questions or me.
I'm listening
right?
to what I'm.
Okay.
If that's how you
heard
think
what
it
I
works.
said about the correlation between intellectual development and vaccines. You heard that part,
Sure.
right?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Now, do you have a response to that?
I'm not a doctor. Fine.
That's for sure.
Okay. Yeah.
But nobody thought you were a doctor.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Do you don't have to say that you're not a doctor because we know that already.
Just keep pushing the salt further and further into the wound.
Keep pushing the salt. You have a wound?
Anyway.
Do you have a wound?
So, can we move on?
No.
Okay.
We can't move on.
Well,
so you made a bunch of dumb statements, and now you want to just run away.
Can you just well, I mean, if I could interrupt.
Yeah.
The gentleman, I guess it's Drew. He said there's research that says supports his position. Norm asked him to name it. He didn't name it, and that's okay.
No. I didn't say there was research that supported my position.
You said that. You said books. Isn't that what you were?
I said
look at the book. Whatever the
hold
book
on.
say.
Can you let me talk?
The book that he never.
Go ahead. Let Drew. Go ahead.
Yeah.
What I said, I didn't say there was research to back my theory. I didn't say that. What I said was he's calling me stupid, and he's saying, "Oh, well, the medical this,
no,
the
your
medical
position
that."
is stupid. I don't know if you're stupid
fine.
or not.
Did he say look at the books, Drew, or did I mishear that?
I'm getting to that, but he won't shut his mouth.
Okay, let's get to that part. Go ahead.
The part that I was saying was that, because he's talking about, oh, well, the research and the this and the that, and I said,
no,
yeah,
I didn't say any of that.
Let him finish.
Can you just shut up?
The answer is no, Drew.
I can tell.
Good.
Let him finish. Go ahead, sir. Drew, go ahead.
So anyway, what I said about books, I said, because he's talking about, oh, well, the research this, and there's no data, and this and that. And I said, yeah, we'll just run with that. I was being sarcastic. I said, yeah, we'll just run with that, whoever wrote those books.
Right.
And decided that the information that's in those books is exactly what it is.
Because you have contempt for books, right? You don't like books.
I read all the time, bro.
Listen, what book? Drew. There may be books to support your position, and there's also books to support Norm's position. The scientific community has, in the main, accepted vaccines are a good technology, and there are people with contrary views. I think we've solved this problem. I don't think we need to.
I agree with that.
You know, there's always with everything. There's people out there who believe that global warming is a thing, and there's people out there who don't believe in it. And I don't think we can really grind this any further.
I wasn't trying to grind anything. The only point I was really trying to get to after that was that I never gave much of this thought. But then we see all of this stuff coming out during COVID, and
all of what stuff?
That it didn't seem official, right? Like it didn't seem.
What didn't seem official?
That it was safe.
Obviously, he's a doubter, Norm. He's a skeptic. He's a doubter.
What? He didn't even say what he's doubting.
Sure, he's doubting vaccines.
What about vaccines do you doubt?
I'm helping him now. He's doubting the effectiveness of it, and I'm not being on his side. I'm just saying we don't have to burn this house down. We've established that he doesn't agree with it.
So we eliminated polio or not? Because now I'm confused. You get polio?
I'm trying to get there, but you just
No, you're not. No, you're not.
You're not letting. Oh my God.
You don't have anything to say, and you know it.
Drew, can I just suggest that you actually just stop, because you will not dissuade or inform or persuade these men. They are vaccine 100%.
No.
They support the science, absolutely.
Yeah.
Hello?
There's no correlation between vaccines and human intellectual development. That's what I said.
Well, maybe there is, but the greater good, the greater good supports vaccines.
Norm, 1 in 12 young men have autism from the vaccines, Norm.
No evidence of that whatsoever.
There's a mountain of evidence. You just don't want to even look it up, and I can't share it with you in a one sentence audio conference call, Norm. I have, Norm. There's just so much information out there that none of us can actually obtain it or transmit it to each other in a short little audio conference call, Norm. Yeah, Norm, listen. Norm, I love you, and I love everybody in this room, but the truth is 77 injections, combinations, because now they're combining 5 in 1. We've got a serious, we have a medical industrial complex in this country. If you say no, your kid can't get into the school, you lose your job with the COVID-19. Listen, Norm, you do you. I'm going to do me. It's not personal, and but if you want to actually compare information, it's very difficult to do it on an audio conference call app.
That's the point I was trying to get to, is that we have a huge medical lobby in this country that funds a lot of shit.
What does that have to do with the correlation between autism and vaccines, or the non-correlation, or the correlation between intellectual development vaccines that you just pretended to know about?
I didn't say that. I didn't say there was an intellectual drawback to vaccines.
You said your daughter and your niece are developing differently intellectually, and you suggested that it had to do with vaccines. Did you not?
I didn't suggest. I just said that this is what happened. You're saying it like I'm trying to
hide.
hide.
You mentioned it, they're unrelated, in other words, in your position, right?
I didn't say that.
Oh, they're related then.
It's just you're a very black and white person.
Well, are they related or are they not?
Yeah,
you
exactly.
mentioned them next to each other in a way that suggests that they're related, right? Oh, no. Did that not happen? Did I dream that?
I was talking about a coincidence. I wasn't making any suggestions.
Like you met somebody from your childhood
Here we go. Yeah, here we go.
They're unrelated.
Just completely bastardized the fucking point I was trying to make.
So what's the relationship between vaccines and child intellectual development? And why did you bring it up?
Well, we were talking about vaccines.
That's for sure. And so what's the relationship?
So, I'm sorry, what was the other guy's name that brought up how many?
Doesn't matter.
What's the relationship? No, because it's supporting...
Yeah. It doesn't matter. What's the relationship?
Man, it all makes sense now.
For sure. What's the relationship?
No. You don't know what I'm talking about, but...
Well, neither do you. That's the problem. What is the relationship?
Between pumping an infant full of chemicals and possible drawbacks?
Between a vaccine.
That's what it is. Yeah,
no,
that's a chemical, buddy.
Well, it's not pumping, and it's not a chemical. So other than that, you're right on.
So vaccines aren't chemicals. They aren't scientifically made. They're not chemicals. So what are they? What are they? What is a vaccine?
Now you don't know what a vaccine is.
Don't fucking gaslight me, motherfucker. If a vaccine is not a chemical, then what is it?
Okay.
What is it? Yeah, exactly. You can't even fucking rebuke that.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Did you just say I can't rebuke it?
Refute. You fucking moron.
Oh, now
if it's not a chemical, then what is it? We're not moving on.
You don't know what a vaccine is?
I'm asking you. If it's not a chemical, then what is it made up of?
Vaccine is usually a dead virus.
There's no chemicals at all in a vaccine.
I just told you what it was. You're not pumping kids full of chemicals.
There's no chemicals at all. There's no chemicals in a vaccine at all.
You're stimulating their immune system so that they can resist pathogens. You don't even know what you're talking about, do you?
No. I'm asking you if it's
I might be able to help. I might be able to help. Norm, according to Google, and I'll stipulate that Google is not always right.
Yeah.
Vaccines and everything on Earth, including the human body, are made of chemicals.
Well, that's a silly thing to say, Steve, and it doesn't help, it hurts. Because that's to say pumping a child full of chemicals, like food is chemicals too.
So when you're using a needle,
if I may respond to Norm very quickly.
Norm, Steve, hang on, Steve.
Sure, I'll hang on. I'll hang on.
Thank you for that. Thank you. So when you feed a child lunch, you're also pumping him full of chemicals, but it has no relationship to their intellectual development. Whether
That's
you
not
give
the
them a
same.
bologna sandwich or a peanut butter sandwich
That's
or
not
a
the same.
tuna fish sandwich, it's the
That's
same.
not the same.
It's
That's
the
not the same.
same. You're
A
pumping
fucking
them full of
sandwich.
chemicals.
That's not pumping. And
Yeah,
it's
why
not the
not?
same
Why is
as,
it pumping? Well, an
because you're not
injection
using.
an
You're not
injection
using a
isn't pumping
syringe.
either. Well, what do you need a syringe for? You can give the polio vaccine on a sugar cube, dipshit. Did you not hear of the Sabin vaccine? It's given on sugar cubes, moron.
What about all
You really
the other
don't know
ones?
what you're. Listen.
What about all the other ones? Oh, so I didn't watch my own daughter take all these meals.
Let's start with polio.
I didn't watch my own.
Let's
Stop
start
talking
with
about polio. I'm not
polio.
talking about polio.
Why aren't you talking about
Because that's the only
polio?
one you can grasp onto.
It's
That's
one
not
of the first
injected with a
vaccines that
fucking
we
needle.
give. There's also. Well, you know what diphtheria is, or whooping
I'm
cough,
talking
or
about the
measles?
ones you inject with a needle. We're just talking
All right,
about
why
the
are you
ones
only
as a
talking about those?
as a generalization. All
Why
right.
are you only talking
You're trying to
about those?
nitpick a bunch of fucking nonsense to make yourself look right.
what's
The point is
nonsense?
that when you use a
I asked
syringe,
you a
that is
simple
pumping
question.
fluid. A
I asked
syringe
you a simple
pumps
question.
fluid.
I asked you a simple question. What's the relationship between vaccines and intellectual development? And you know very well that there is none. You made a stupid comment, and now you're running away by talking about pumping full of chemicals. Yes, everything on the planet is chemicals if you want to talk about that. But when you give a kid a vaccine, you're stimulating their immune system to resist an intrusive pathogen like polio or measles or diphtheria. You want your kid to get diphtheria, schmuck? People are such idiots.
I know, but why get upset about it?
I'm not. This is actually my entertainment, like watching sporting events.
Well, I just want to say good Shabbos, everybody. Rabbono Shalom, the master of the universe and the cosmic will of the master of the universe. He knows that Borla and Bill Gates are guilty as all hell. And when he sees them in the afterlife, he's going to do terrible things to terrible people. Because liars, thieves, criminals, murderers, in the afterlife, it will be extreme torture and horrific eternal pain because they will be eternally separated from Rabbono Shalom. I'm just saying, if you think Albert Bourla and Bill Gates and Dr. Fauci are your friend and they had the best interest of America at heart, you are politically and ideologically captured, and I feel bad for you. I'm sorry.
Fauci is a flawed human being. It's not. I think we all agree on that, and I don't know if that's a big deal. I'm not sure why it would be. I mean, he's flawed. So what? Everybody's flawed. What's the big deal? So no relationship between child intellectual development and vaccines, right? Right. So we don't have to worry about that. One less thing to worry about as parents.
Yeah, but there's no point in you being so abusive. You don't have to call me an idiot, tell him how stupid he is.
Well, I only brought that up when he started using.
Your entertainment could be, maybe you should just pull
When he
back a little
started
bit.
using the word motherfucker.
It's not entertaining for us.
It's okay. You don't have to listen to me. I'm not requiring you to do it.
I remember we were in the room. Yeah, I'm just saying. Right. Norm, I love you too, but
I love you too.
Well, gentlemen, let's all just come back to the center of the circle and be at peace. And I just want to say that life is an experiment. This room is an experiment. Mass vaccination of the world was an experiment. And as someone who also engages in experiments, just like all of you fine gentlemen, it's up to us to try to create the best experiments possible for the sake of ourselves and for, humanity. And I think the COVID-19 mass vaccination experiment was a failure of science, a failure of leadership, and it was a fraud and a scam. And we should mass arrest all people involved, put them through re-education camps, and kill the worst offenders.
Vaccinations with flu vaccines. Are showing any big problems with that?
Sean, why did you use my photo in your profile? In your profile? Why'd you take my photo?
This dude's comparing the flu vax to a fucking COVID vax.
That is, yes, I am. Yes, I
Because
am.
vaccines are chemicals, right?
I beg your pardon? Everything is chemicals. Tuna fish is chemicals too, by the way. Don't get
But
into
why,
any
why
tuna fish.
couldn't you tell me that vaccines were chemicals then? They were composed of chemicals.
Everything is chemicals.
But you told me that vaccines weren't and that I was stupid.
Air is
Shut
chemicals,
up.
because it's a stupid comment. You're pumping your kids full of chemicals. Yes, they eat Cheetos and they're pumped full of chemicals. They drink a juice. A juice box is pumping full of chemicals.
A juice box isn't going to have immediate detrimental effects to them.
Right. Exactly. And our vaccines? Which one? Tell us. Tell us the immediate
COVID,
detrimental.
motherfucker. What are you talking about? COVID.
Listen, scumbag.
COVID in
Tell us
itself.
the immediate detrimental effect of a COVID vaccine. I want to learn.
Jesus Christ. This country will
Tell
never
us.
prosper until your generation is fucking gone.
Yes, you will be gone long before me. Halfway.
Yeah. Okay. Halfway.
Yes, because you want to know why? Because you're too stupid to figure it out. That's why.
You're talking about my generation.
Who talking about my? What's the immediate detrimental effect of a vaccine? Anybody? Bueller?
I mean, there's a ton of possibilities.
Well,
and there's a ton of cases.
Just one.
Look, he told the story about what happened to his daughter. I mean, we all heard the story.
Yeah.
Remember that?
She's brilliant because he didn't vaccinate her.
Drew, I'm telling you, sir.
She vaccinated her and she went back a few months or whatever it was. She developed. Yeah.
She had developmental disorder after that. And El Normo keeps making the claim that vaccines do not impair developmental cognitive disorder.
I said, what's the correlation? I didn't say there wasn't one.
Well, anyways, gentlemen, I hope you all have a fabulous Shabbos. Rabbono Shalom. Drew, you cannot argue with vaccine politically, ideologically captured individuals. You just can't, Drew. It's a waste of your time, sir.
Yeah,
I'm not arguing about it.
Sometimes I'm just screaming at a fucking retard.
I'm just in favor of public health. And if you don't have any answers to anything I said, then it's obvious you don't know what the hell you're talking about. So I asked you 3 times in a row, what is the immediate detrimental effect of a vaccine? And as you and I both know, there aren't any more than there is for a tuna fish sandwich, or peanut butter and jelly sandwich, on Wonder Bread, or if you prefer, you can use sprouted wheat bread, which are all chemicals. So what you're saying is just ridiculous. And ignorant, and primitive, and medieval.
Well, let me just propose a little experiment. You go to the carnival, they got a bag of cotton candy for $1.99, or they got a free mRNA Pfizer spike protein vaccine injection fresh off the marketplace, approved by the FDA. And you have to choose one or the other. Who's going with the $1.99 cotton candy or the...
Enough of the performance art.
I'm sorry, did we just boot the guy that was giving a good theory?
No, I'm still here. Just I'm in a different form now. The point is, some people, they got buyer's remorse. They don't like to hear controversial, contrarian opinions to their position because it makes them uncomfortable.
I'm starting to think that Norm might just have friends in the medical industry. I think that's what's happening here.
It doesn't really matter whose Norm's friends are. The point is, Norm accuses me of performance art, but now I'm thinking Norm is actually the performative artist himself, not just me, progressive liberal. It's actually Norm's projection onto me that I'm a performance artist. But
Are you not a performance artist?
are you a performance artist, Norm? That's the question.
I'm
He can
more of an
actually, he's
orator.
got the voice for it too, bro.
Thank you.
I'm not,
People do compliment me about my voice. Sure. Alma, what did you want to say? Alma Barry. What did you want to chime in about? Alma, you raised your hand. Drew, if you find an immediate detrimental effect of a vaccine, we're eager to hear, by the way, because you did make a statement. You thought it was more dangerous than a bologna sandwich, and we're still eager to hear.
I gave you 7 or 8 before.
No, you didn't mention one.
I did, actually.
No, you didn't mention a single one.
Man, you're a master at fucking gaslighting. I literally have the list.
Tell us what it is. You don't have to argue with me about what you did. Just tell us what the immediate detrimental effect of a vaccine is, if you know. And then we can move on. You're right here. You can just say it. You don't have to tell me what you think you said. What is it? We'll all listen. The immediate detrimental effect of a vaccine as opposed to a bologna sandwich. Which bologna sandwich is chemicals, by the way. Ben, you have any insights?
Into what? AOC becoming president?
Yes.
Oh, he wants the response and then he mutes my mic, fucking bitch.
No. If you have an answer, we want to hear. I didn't mute you just now.
You won't shut up.
Okay.
I was just reading off the list and then I realized I'm muted.
All right. So what's the first immediate detrimental effect of a vaccine? Go ahead.
That have happened to people as reported by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration and the CDC. You let me know. Let me know.
Okay. Well, I'm still waiting.
When the bologna sandwich can cause myocarditis, pericarditis.
Okay, let's start right
anaphylaxis.
There. Hang on. Wait. We're going to go one at a time.
I'm reading from the CDC.
Hang on. Wait. One at a time. So is your position that the immediate detrimental effect of a vaccine is myocarditis? Right? The immediate detrimental effect of a vaccine is myocarditis. Is that your position? Because you just said it. I want to make sure I heard you. No? No answer? Okay. Ben, what about AOC?
You keep muting my mic. Stop muting my mic.
Okay, I'll stop muting your mic.
Norm,
what about AOC?
Norm, did you mute his mic?
No.
El Normo has been exposed.
And he kicked me off stage as he said, "Fine, I'll stop muting your mic."
Yes.
Come on, bro.
So I asked you a question you didn't have an answer for. You just want to argue.
You're being a little heavy-handed today, man. You are. You definitely are.
I plead guilty to that. But do we really want to talk with vaccine deniers? Isn't that a little bit?
I'll give it. Whatever. I mean, it's a slow part of the afternoon.
Is that really what you want to talk to somebody who thinks that vaccines are like the root of all evil or something?
What's the matter, bro? I start bringing evidence, and now all of a sudden you don't want to talk about it anymore?
I asked you a question. I don't want to hear from you.
Well, that brings up a good point, and since unfortunately I didn't have the opportunity to respond during that one, which you said I would, Norm, since you don't want to talk about that, what do you want to talk about?
I'll talk about anything if we don't stop.
Anything except vaccines. Is that what you're saying?
Not at all. And by the way, I forgot to get back to you, but
or I know you did. Or is it just you'll talk to anything about anybody except him? Is that what you're saying?
No, I just wanted, as in your words, I just want the conversation not to suck.
Well, to do that, Norm, you can't be so heavy-handed as you've been.
I'll lighten up a little bit, but
hey, that's up to you, buddy. This is Reverend Scott's room.
I know. Well, we'll do it together. All right. So let's talk about. I like to have like a conversation that's meaningful, not like my daughter took a vaccine and now she's developmentally disabled. That's not a conversation that I think is.
Well, to have a meaningful conversation, Norm, you can't interrupt people literally 15 times in 5 minutes.
I definitely can. I can do it more. And by the way,
I said you have a meaningful conversation. Yes, I didn't say you couldn't do it.
Yes, I can have a meaningful conversation.
You said you wanted to have a meaningful conversation. And
I do.
Even I can't have a meaningful conversation if I interrupt somebody 15 times in less than 5 minutes.
You can. I'll show you how to do it.
I guess
I'm
it
happy to
depends.
show.
All right, well, I'm going to go on mute.
All
I
right.
guess it depends on how you define meaningful. Apparently, in
Yes.
Norm's view, meaningful conversation means he gets to interrupt people constantly.
No, meaningful means not sucking.
Okay, well,
So
yeah,
you encourage the good part and you discourage the bad part.
Right, but these are all
Norm, the
subjective
roast of
terms.
Norm
Would you not agree with that?
I don't.
roast
I
of
don't.
Norm
Do you think that
Green!
there's objectivity to this?
Yes, 100%.
Okay. So why not invite Drew back on stage so that we can actually have a conversation? If you guys,
He's not capable of it. So I'm discouraging
Okay,
the bad
so
stuff and
how-
trying to encourage the good.
okay, so we have 3 moderators on stage. I would like to be part of a meaningful conversation. Otherwise, I'm going to leave the room and go somewhere else.
I want to have a meaningful
I
conversation
think
too.
meaningful is 100% subjective. And Norm, I would encourage you to disagree with me and be specific.
Okay, no thanks.
You said meaningful is objective. That's what you
Yes.
said, right?
That's right, yes.
Okay, so please support your point and be specific.
No, I don't want to have that conversation.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not even going to ask you why. I'm not even going to pursue it. I'm going to go on.
So, Norm, would you say that no person has experienced myocarditis immediately following a vaccine? Is that what you were trying to counter with, or?
No, I said, what are the immediate detrimental effects of the vaccine?
And would you
And then-
include possible adverse events, or no?
Listen, all human activity includes the possibility of adverse events. But if I said, for example, walking leads to a broken leg, the immediate detrimental effect of walking is a broken leg, that would be a foolish statement. So yes, it is entirely possible that in the wide, let's say we administered these vaccines, like more than 1 billion of them, right? Should we check and see? So in the vast population of over 1 billion people, I'm sure there were some negative reactions.
But I think it is
That's
like
not-
a rational claim to say that it might not make sense, for example, for young males to get the COVID vaccine because their risk associated with myocarditis and other cardiac adverse events is actually higher relative to the risk that they might catch COVID and get it. Like if you got the,
Or
if you were a
transmit it.
22-year-old
It would
male-
have to be discussed. It would be a mathematical and medical conversation, yes. It wouldn't be just, well, I know somebody who took the vaccine and then they died. That wouldn't be the conversation. The conversation would be, what is the risk?
But it didn't. It seemed like when I joined the stage, anyways, he wasn't saying that somebody said something. He said that he was literally quoting the CDC.
Well, someone, I don't know if it was him, did make a claim of like, my daughter didn't get vaccines and is doing better than my other friend's daughter who did get vaccines.
Right.
It was that level of retardedness for a second, but I think we were getting to a point of maybe some.
You might
better.
think it's retarded, but it wasn't done with that level of like snooty behavior. It wasn't.
Just to be clear, Drew, I'm not taking your side of the issue or Norm's side of the issue. I just want productive dialogue. That's all I want.
I was right. I had the list of reported CDC and U.S. Food and Drug Administration reported facts of the list. I made the top, let me see, what do I have here? The top 10? I had a list of the top 10 reported from the CDC adverse reactions people have had. I'm not saying, and I never said, that the second you take a vaccine, this is what's going to happen. I was saying.
You use the term immediate detrimental effect. That's your quote.
But that doesn't cover me saying every time someone got a vaccine. These are
What
things
does
that have
the
immediately
immediate
happened.
detrimental effect mean to you?
That means that there are people out there that have had an immediate or within 24-hour adverse effects from a vaccine, particularly
But that's
COVID.
No. So you said that, unlike a bologna sandwich, the COVID vaccine has immediate detrimental effects. So here, I looked it up.
You go ahead.
So the risk of developing myocarditis, inflammation of the heart muscle from a COVID-19 vaccine is exceedingly rare, ranging from approximately 5 to 10 cases per 100,000 individuals vaccinated overall. So it's 5 to 10 per 100,000.
It might help if I read the Cambridge Dictionary definition of detrimental. The word I think it will. I think it will.
Well, we know.
Well, you know what? Give me 30 seconds, Norm, please.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Sure.
The word detrimental, according to the Cambridge Dictionary, means, quote, causing harm, damage, or injury. It is a formal way to say that something is bad or negative for a person or thing. Therefore, arguably, and I'm just saying arguably, detrimental could be a red spot at the injection site that causes pain for 24 hours. That could qualify under the definition, which obviously is the least form of adverse effect. Obviously, the worst form of adverse effect would be death, and somewhere in between might be temporary myocarditis. And I think that was, Norm, productive to this conversation.
You're right, it was. You got there from a side approach, and you're right, it was.
I got there from speaking the truth.
Yeah, but you approached it sideways, saying we were going to define detrimental.
Well, you know what, Norm? I like to think outside the box, which occasionally does come sideways.
Yeah, it was good. It was lateral.
Did you also look up a definition for the word curmudgeon?
I did not.
So 5 to 10 cases per 100,000, I would say, is not what you would call an immediate detrimental effect from taking a vaccine. I would say, as I said before, there will be some rare allergic responses, and you could work on those with your doctor and see if you are more likely to have a bad effect from a vaccine. And I think in some cases, probably some people shouldn't take it, and that's between them and their doctor.
Arguably under the definition I just read, 100% of the people that took the
Buttercup!
detrimental effect, although a majority of them would be extremely minor. I don't hear anybody disagreeing with me.
Dr. Eleanor,
Well, now you're really
We're both right and we're both wrong in our respective opinions.
Ding, ding, ding.
I can admit it, but Norm is so quick to it. He can't admit it. I can admit when I'm wrong.
Steve is mocking you by saying the detrimental effect is
No, I'm not. I'm trying. No, I'm not.
Read
I'm trying.
the room.
Hello.
Yes.
I'm not mocking anybody. I'm trying to middle the conversation and come to a general consensus, which is what I always do.
All right. You're a great consensus builder, Steve.
Yes, I am.
Yes, you are. So if your arm hurts after the injection, you've had a detrimental effect.
According to the Cambridge definition, if you have a red spot at the injection site that hurts for 24 hours, that is detrimental, however minor it is.
What if it hurts for 2 minutes?
Well, I don't know, Norm. What do you think of the definition? Should I repeat it again?
Injection site pain would be a detrimental effect, yeah.
Well, then the answer to Norm is yes. Injection site pain for 2 minutes is detriment.
Right. And by the way, I think walking also has detrimental effects. A certain number of people who walk are going to fall down and hurt themselves.
That's why swimming is generally considered to be the best exercise possible, because you have less blunt force trauma on your joint.
And we all love our joints.
Once
How
again,
many bologna sandwiches